Wagwan people, how's it going? Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone had a good day yesterday. A fantastic day yesterday at the Hazelmere Fete. It's really good. Anyway, I didn't get much sleep last night. I have got toothache. Really bad toothache. Which this is not going to help, but I need something to wake me up. So anyway, that squirted all over myself. Anyway, I am going to tell you a couple of stories. Actually, first of all, before we go into this story, I noticed something this morning. So my pals, Ray Bang Bang Hill and Yummy B TV, seem to be at war. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know what I've missed. I see that Yummy put something up yesterday about 14 hours ago about Ray, and then Ray's responded this morning. I know they've fallen out before. These guys tend to, like all these guys in the same circle, they tend to fall out. Yeah, you know, stories get mixed up, wires get crossed, etc. Anyway, don't know what that's all about, but guys, I hope you sort it out. Alright, just like there's no point of fighting. You guys should be working together, doing our podcast or something together. That's how I see it. But anyway, moving on, because it's none of my business and I'm not getting involved, because I don't want either of them coming banging on my door. I'm only joking, guys. I know you wouldn't do that to me, or would you? But anyway, so I'm going to talk about a guy. He was a very feared guy around Hazelmere ways, and he still is, but he's not around so much anymore. He goes by the name of Craig Birch, aka Knuckles. Now this guy loved a tear up, and he could hit you. His hands were like sledgehammers, yeah? If he hit you and he caught you, that was it. It's game over. You were knockout. I've seen photos of what he's done to people. He got attacked by 3 guys. This was like a year or 2 ago. He went to prison for this, and they had to release him because when they looked back in the cameras, there was 3 attacking him, and he put all 3 of them on the floor. And one of them he hit so hard, this guy's whole face was purple. He had to have the old thing I had to wear when I was in my car accident. He had to keep his head down. His neck was screwed. Like he hurt this geezer like proper bang, and just knocked him clean out. And like I said, his whole face was like a purple balloon, right? So this guy, Craig Birch, Knuckles, I went to Ramsey with him. He's a good mate of mine. Known him many years. Know his brother. Cole, peace bro. Hope you're watching. Hope you're still enjoying what I'm doing. So anyway, we're going to talk about Craig. And this is one story that an old friend of mine told me. He was in Morrison's car park, my friend, and he was with Craig, and some beef happened down there. I'm not too sure exactly what it was, but it was in the middle of Morrison's car park, which is down in Wickham. And Craig and this guy started threatening my old friend, and Craig's jumped out of the car, gone up to this guy who was threatening my old friend, and just one slap, bang, yeah, round the jaw. Guy in the middle of the car park snoring his head off from a slap. So the guy's got a swing on him, yeah, because, knocking someone out of a slap, I mean, I wouldn't say it's hard to do if you've got the swing, but it's quite a devastating thing to hear, because a slap's a lot more, yeah, it's like more clap to it, so it's like, it sounds worse than what it is, but it just, yeah, it's pretty funny to see someone get knocked out by a slap. So anyway, I've got to change a couple of names on this story. This was around 2001, right? I was around 18, 19, so it's 2001. And I was hanging around with Dean Coffey, Tom Alabaster, Chris Keenan. That was like the crew at the time. Big up Dean Coffey. massive Tupac fan, this guy, literally, he was obsessed with Tupac. But anyway, so I just had to get that in, because it just suddenly gave me a memory of like listening to the Tupac albums in his room, and in his car as well, all the time. So we were hanging out, and we used to go, say, to a house party, to a pub, to whatever, yeah. Then we'd go, and then we'd buy beers before we went to the pub or the house party, and leave them at Dean's or wherever, like somewhere local to, like, in Hazelmere. And then at the end of the night, we'd all go and sit on the wall outside where the Cedars pub used to be. It's not there no more. It's a block of flats. So we'd all sit on that wall, and we'd have a few beers, finished off beers. So it'd be like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Everything's shut. You can't get beers at that time. We were all sat on the wall. I think there was like Hobbsy was there, Mark Hall, Greg. There was a few of them. You know, there was a few people down there that night, including. But the two people that this story is about is a bloke called Martin, M.A., and a girl called Lisa. Now, Lisa was previously in a relationship with Craig roughly around that time, but she had broken up with him because Craig was a very naughty guy. He was a very violent guy. Not towards her, I'm going to say. He was just, if they went out and someone looked at Lisa, Craig would probably go and knock him out, because that's how Craig was. Someone looked at his woman, then they wanted trouble. So I was on the wall with them lot, and then we've all walked down to the end of the park parade where like the co-op is, which used to be the food hall. So we've gone down there, and Martin and Lisa were sat on the wall, just them two. And then I heard a commotion. Everyone's gone off back home, like Robert's Ride, Woodland area. That's where some of the others lived. And I've walked back to where the wall is, and Lisa and Martin are gone. But I see Craig Birch's car where the bottle banks are. So I jump out, and I walk over to I sort of like turn around, look over at Craig's car. He jumps out the car. He walks up to me, and he's pissed. And there's another guy in the car with him called James. There was a car, so James was in the car. He stayed in the car. Craig's come up to me, and he's tried to speak to me, but he's so drunk. He was like, and I'm like, sorry, Craig, what was that, mate? And he said it again. Then I see his fist down here clench. So I knew what was coming. I knew he was going to hit me. So I had two options: stand there and take it, or duck and run. And I'll tell you something, I ain't taking a punch off that fella, yeah? If he hit me, he'd knock my fucking head off. Sorry. Whoops, I swore. It won't happen again, YouTube, sorry. Anyway, he'd knock my head off, yeah? So, he swings, I duck, then I run. So, I'm facing that way, yeah? Craig's in front of me, I duck, then I run that way, which is back towards home, yeah? And I run up to the top of Mary's Mead, because I know that Craig has to get in his car, and to chase me, he has to turn round, and by the time he's done that, I'm at home, trust me. So I get to the top of Mary's Mead, where the bushes are on the wall, so I'm stood behind there, and then I hear someone walking towards me. It's like a staggering towards me, and it's Martin, and he's basically, one side of his face is purple, one side is pissing out with blood. And I'm like, oh my God. So I said, you okay? You okay? He said, just leave me alone. I need to get home. So he went home, woke up in the morning. And basically, he's gone downstairs with like the pillow stuck to the side of his head from the blood. His mum's seen him. She screamed. They called the police. He went to the hospital. Doctors said one more punch or kick to the head would have killed him. What had happened was Craig had turned up, seen Martin with his ex, got very jealous. Martin said he was sat like this because he knew that he was in trouble, but he was on a wall and he was kind of cornered. And then he says all he remembers was seeing a fist come up with rings on, knock him over the wall, and then apparently, according to Lisa, Craig was kicking his head against the wall and punching his head against this wall with his sovereign rings on. Martin has obviously got to the police and all that, and the police were going to arrest Craig. But then Martin had a change of heart because he suddenly realised that even if he did get him arrested, that when Craig come back out, Craig would probably just come back after him, because that's what Craig was like. He never let things, it would just make the beef worse. Yeah? So anyway, I spoke to Martin and I said it's probably best that you don't press charges for your own safety. Anyway, Craig's rang me up a couple of days later. He said, James said that I tried to hit you the other night when I did Martin. I said, yeah, you did. He said, Dougs, I am so sorry. I'd never do that to you. You know I've known you a long time. You're like a brother to me. Da, da, da. And then I said to him, look, I've had a word with Martin, and Martin's definitely not going to press charges. So that was all squashed. And then Craig Knuckles has invited us round to his. A few days later, brought us like a crate of Stella, gave us a block of ash, and just we got drunk with him. Me and Martin. Martin didn't stay long. I think he was a bit scared. I was alright. I've been to crates a few times. So I went to so I sat around there. I remember he had the boxing bag in his room. He had all these Mike Tyson videos, VCR tapes up on his wall. He loved Tyson. And he said, look, this is what you do when you beat someone up. And he's gone on this punch bag, and he's hit this punch bag. I'm not even joking. I've never seen a punch bag that heavy swing so flipping high. It was just absolutely crazy. Yeah, like absolutely crazy. Like, and that was just like one story that I can tell you, because I was kind of there and it kind of happened to me that night. I'll tell you another story. I used to go out with Craig. I remember we were in the Falcon, and we sat in the Falcon, and there was a bloke. He kept looking over at me and Craig, or in our direction. And Craig suddenly thought, if that guy looks at me one more time, or you one more time, I'm going to go and knock him out. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, we've just got down there. We're just having a pint. I don't need all this. I'm not a fighter. I don't need to get into a fight. Anyway, I've walked over to the guy at the bar. I said, listen, mate, that guy you keep looking at, he's going to come over and he's going to rip your head off in a minute. I suggest you pretend you know me. I'm trying to help you here. I'm not causing you trouble. I'm trying to help you. When he comes over here, say you know me from school. We went to Ramsey together. Guys walked over, and Craig's like, you got a fucking problem with me, mate? The guy's like, no, I know this guy here. I went to school with him. Craig was like, oh, okay, mate. When I used to go out with Craig, the amount of people that used to come up and shake my hand and give me respect because you were with Craig Birch. These guys were scared of him because he, like I said, he had a hit on him. He'd hit you, and your whole face would turn purple. They'd annihilate you. I still see Craig. I see him a few weeks back. I was with him and Dickie. Had a beer and that. Had a little catch up. So I ain't seen Craig for a long time. I don't think he lives around here anymore. But anyway, that was just a little bit of a few stories about old Craig Birch, Knuckles. And that's it really. Just thought I'd do a little thing about him. I could do more about him, but I'd rather actually get him on my podcast and actually get him to tell me some of his stories. That would be interesting, but I don't think it'll ever happen. But anyway, big up to everyone who's watching my channel. Big up to everyone who's supporting me. Much love to everyone, man. Like, I hope you're all good, and it's blue skies out there today. Doesn't mean it's not going to rain, but anyway, peace, people. Much love. Hopefully this toothache, well, I've got dentist Monday, so I'm going to get it sorted out then, so I'm not bothered. Do you know what I mean? I can wait till Monday. If it gets too bad, then I'll sort it out. But anyway, people, peace, much love. Tomorrow is Master Ace down at Tone Coffee Shop in High Wycombe. I am going there, I promise you. Anyone want to come down with me? Give me a shout. It's going to be big. Master Ace and Marco Polo. It's going to be big, mate. Big. Anyway, people, peace, much love. See all you guys soon. Tomorrow I'll be putting loads of videos up on Master Ace. Watch this space.